6:30. I'm calling the White Marsh Board of Supervisors meeting to order. A little bit of housekeeping before we start. Patrice Tureen is here, but she's joining us on Zoom. And Craig McNally had a family emergency, and he will not be with us tonight. Kevin Barron is sitting in his seat. Let's all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So this is National Library Week, April 6th through 12th. It's a very special week. And before I read the proclamation, I just want to share something with you. I was recently asked why I love libraries so much. All libraries, but of course ours especially. And I answered by sharing some information. I had some significant challenges in my youth, and I remember my library being one of the most welcoming, safest places for me to go on a regular basis with wonderful staff who were caring and compassionate, and I'm forever grateful for that. Libraries are not just books. There's so much more that they offer, and I thank Lisa and her staff for all that they do. Whereas libraries spark creativity, fuel imagination, and inspire lifelong learning, offering a space where individuals of all ages can explore new ideas and be drawn to new possibilities. Whereas libraries serve as vibrant community hubs, connecting people with knowledge, technology, and resources, while fostering civic engagement, critical thinking, and lifelong learning. Whereas libraries provide free and equitable access to books, digital tools, and innovative programming, ensuring that all individuals, regardless of background, have the support they need to learn, connect, and thrive. Whereas libraries partner with schools, businesses, and organizations, connecting the dots to maximize resources, increase efficiency, and expand access to essential services, strengthening the entire community. Whereas libraries empower job seekers, entrepreneurs, and lifelong learners by providing access to resources, training, and opportunities that support career growth and economic success. Whereas libraries nurture young minds through story times, STEAM programs, and literacy initiatives, fostering curiosity and a love of learning that lasts a lifetime. Whereas libraries protect the right to read, think, and explore without censorship, standing as champions of intellectual freedom and free expression. Whereas dedicated librarians and library workers provide welcoming spaces that inspire discovery, collaboration, and creativity for all. Whereas libraries, librarians, and library workers across the country are joining together to celebrate National Library Week under the theme, Drawn to the Library. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, J.C. Toll, Chair of the White Marsh Township Board of Supervisors, proclaim April 6th through 12th, 2025 as National Library Week. During this week, I encourage all residents to visit the William Jeanes Memorial Library, explore its resources, and celebrate all the ways that the library draws us together as a community. Lisa, would you like to come up and say a few words?
Lisa Clancy, Director of the William Jeanes Memorial Library and Nicholas and Athena Karabat Center for Learning. I'd like to thank the Board of Supervisors and White Marsh Township for this proclamation. As JC said, it's extra special to hear it this week, which is National Libraries Week. At a time when libraries are very much in the news, it's wonderful to celebrate all that we stand for, the freedom to read and unrestricted access to quality information. We are truly the third place in the community after home and work or school, but the only one with doors open to everyone and no obligation to buy anything. We are a certified family place library, recognizing our work for early literacy, and a Gold Star library in the Pennsylvania Library Association. We welcome the community to come visit, get a library card, and see all the material and resources that entitles you to, as well as learn how the Institute of Museum and Library Services funding filters down to the local library level in this county. We also invite you to purchase a ticket, an early bird ticket to our annual Wine and Cheese to be held on Saturday, May 3rd from 5 to 7 p.m. And entries for our famous raffle baskets go on sale this Monday. On behalf of the Bodacious Board, the fierce friends, the very enthusiastic volunteers, and of course the superb staff, we thank the township and the community for their continued support.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you for all you do. Do you want to get a quick pic with our library cards while we're here?
Sure, never going to say no.
Awesome. Kevin or somebody else? Do you happen to have any extras with you, do you?
No.
All right, can we borrow, can we borrow two? That would
My
be,
Bodacious Board.
that would be
will take care
awesome.
of that.
Lisa, I really do have a library.
I do too. They both do. But I'm going to stand over here just because. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. All right. Moving on to announcements of other fun things happening in the township. I'm going to ask Tom Blumstrom to come up with his, I'm sorry, we have one more thing. My apologies. I'm going to ask Chief to come up. I have one more proclamation. My apologies. You're next.
The board has given me the honor this evening of reading a proclamation for Calvin Bonenberger Sr., a man I've known all my life and has been a huge part of the White Marsh community for many years. Whereas Calvin A. Bonenberger Sr. served as the White Marsh Township Fire Marshal from March of 1988 until December of 2010. And whereas he served as the Emergency Management Coordinator, Building Inspector, and Director of Building and Codes until January of 2010. And whereas he was a life member, past president, fire chief of Barron Hill Volunteer Fire Company, serving as fire chief from January of 1976 until December of 1989. And whereas he was a well-respected throughout the fire service, mentoring many young firefighters, fire service leaders, and fire investigators across Montgomery County and the region. And now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the members of the White Marsh Township Board of Supervisors, posthumously honor Calvin A. Bonenberger Sr. with this proclamation, proudly acknowledging his exemplary record and of leadership and his dedication to the residents of White Marsh Township, proclaimed this 10th day of April 2025. And I will be able to present this proclamation to Mr. Bonenberger's family Saturday when we have a celebration of his life at the Barron Hill Fire Company.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Chief.
Our thoughts and prayers are with his family, but what a wonderful tribute. Thank you. All right, now we're going to move on to Township Day. And I will tell you, Tom, Mr. Blumstrom, that this is a wonderful meeting for me every year because I love seeing who your companion will be. And I never know. And I'm always surprised, and I look forward to it.
We're very excited. We have a triceratops with us. And I learned that word from a book that I read at the library. So it's all very fitting today. Thank you so much to the Triceratops for joining us, and to the board for having us this evening. Just a quick few moments to share some great news about our upcoming Township Day, which is scheduled for Saturday, April 26th. Colonial School District, PW High School Victory Fields from 12 to 5. We had our online registration process started in late January. We have 39 businesses, 9 community school groups, 16 crafters, 12 food vendors, 2 nonprofits, 2 political, religious, other, a total of 80 vendors at this point. We're right on pace with where we were last year, and we have approximately 10 spots left if folks want to get in, call right away. Our Township Day team striving for a great, wonderful, safe event for everyone. My thanks to the police, to fire marshal, to the ambulance association and the fire companies for all of their input and help. Also to Colonial School District for being our host that day. We'll have hand washing stations and hand sanitizer and porta potties and all that stuff out. We're looking forward to saying thank you to our partners and sponsors. Big thank you to the Athena Foundation for being our champion sponsor this year. I'm going to run through these quickly. Our current partners for the event include, deep breath, Renewal by Anderson, General Recreation Inc., Ray's Appliances, Dan Moore Tree Service, Kappa Builders, Galen Murray Communications, SJ Payone Development, Spring Mill, Conshohocken, Brooklyn, Treasure Sign, Lie Nails and Spa, Advanced Dermatology and Cosmetic Surgery, TD Bank, Kilkenny Law, Caddick Builders, Utilities, Gilmore and Associates, Kona Ice, Militia Hill Security, Skyhawk Sports Academy, Patients First, A&E Clothing, Daily Grind Fitness, Chemical Exterminators, Heyday Athletic, the Chamber of Commerce for Greater Montgomery County, Sunbelt Rentals, Fun Fields, Hollis True Value, Anthony's Party Rentals, Streetside Barbecue, Betty's Party Rentals, Amici Vicinato, Pierre's Costumes, Erdenheim Farms, the Highlands Mansion and Gardens, Sky High Tree Service, Pico, White Marsh Family Dentistry, Health Culture, First Student, Equilibria Psychological and Consultation Services, Rockwell Urban Forestry, Do More, Thackeray Crane, Rhodes Energy, Union League Liberty Hill, White Marsh Police Officers Benevolent Fund, The Hill at White Marsh, Chiron Environmental Systems Net, Mid-Atlantic Sports Construction, Jolly Green Giant Landscaping, Red Tail Restoration and Land Management, Suburban Community Hospital, Prime Healthcare, Nationwide Raider Tree Service, RBC Wealth Management, Moyer Indoor Outdoor, Paul Davis Restoration, the PGA Professional Golf Association of America, Truist Championship, Wawa, the Cardano Marketing Team Real Estate, Holiday Inn Express Fort Washington, Gregory J. Novak Memorial Fund and Family, Principal Insurance, Open Mind Psychological, First Trust Bank, Kaplan Stewart Law, Heidelberg Materials, Hearth Builders, Northeast Wash Pros, the Courts at Spring Mill Station, Conshohock and Plymouth White Marsh Rotary, Kustra Insurance, Kids First Swim School, Ye Old Ale House, Panera, Hers, Green Valley Country Club, and our host, Colonial School District.
Wow.
Wow. So big cheers to all of our supporters. We could not do it without them, and they are wonderful. We've been planning with folks, food vendors. Everybody likes to hear about the food. We have Batio's Ice Cream, Sweet Things, Nuts and Candy, Amici Vicinato, Cousins Maine Lobster, Hardy Funnel Cake, Streetside Barbecue, a couple Kona trucks, Simply ACI, ACAI. I need to get to the library more often. Bowls, Yusuf's Halal Food, and the fire department's going to do hot dogs this year. We have entertainment that includes magicians, jugglers, stilt walker, DJs, Positive Project, dancers, strolling characters. Snow White and the Black Panther are going to be there. DeStaffo's martial arts performance, a dance performance by the White Marsh Dancers. First Notes Children's Concert, which is new, we've never done. Aqua String Band, 3 balloonists, 2 face painters, hula hooper. We're going to have a palm reader this year we never had before, so anybody who's concerned about the future, we figure we'll take care of that Township Day. Photographer Amy will be there, and this one we're going to find out on Monday, but we had lined up the Super Bowl champion Eagles pep band, but they are in the midst of something, so we'll find that out Monday. We're hoping that that's still going to work out. We have a bunch of different rides. You folks know them, so I'm not going to read through those. One of the favorite ones, Orbitron, where the kid goes in 7 different angles. We'll have the obstacle courses and all the bounce houses, Fun fields will be back. We're going to have horse rides with the 4 horses, the amazing Erdenheim Farm Petting Zoo, nicest petting zoo anyone will ever go to in their life. The EAB will be there and Shade Tree Commission. They are going to have Schuylkill River Greenway and Riverbend Environmental Education Center out. Have a bunch of games. We'll be taking credit cards, Venmo. We have volunteers lined up from PW High School, from the Honor Society, Colonial Players, International Baccalaureate, career-related program, boys lacrosse, and then students, Temple University's Kappa Omega Zeta, the Arcadia University swim team, and then a few other township families. So we had a great turnout for that. We've been publicizing currently, right now, get your wristbands. They are on sale for $20. Day of, they are $25. We will have a shuttle bus that day. If folks have special needs, we'll have carts to help people get down to the field. And just our biggest heartfelt thanks to Public Works, Police, Fire Marshal, WTV, Finance, the whole township team, Park and Rec Board. We are a team and a family, and we couldn't do without everyone. So thank you most of all to the board. And to Triceratops for being here tonight. Great job, Triceratops. Got to get Triceratops dinner.
Thank you so much for all you do. It's always an amazing, wonderful day. Your list of sponsors is incredible, as always, and we appreciate all you do.
Thank you.
We look forward to it every year.
Thank you. We have a wonderful team, so thanks very much.
Thank you.
Take care. Triceratops is very old. Decades, last one.
Not for long.
All right. I'm going to move down to the minutes. Do I have a motion to adopt the meeting minutes from the Board of Supervisors meeting on March 13th?
So moved.
Second.
All right, before we go on and approve that, is there any board comment regarding the minutes? All right, is there any public comment regarding the minutes? Mr. Wilson?
My name is Roy Wilson. My wife and I were the former residents of the Abolition Hall property. During discussion last meeting regarding the Abolition Hall Course and Track property and the proposed subdivision and sale of a rental cottage at 14 Marple Lane to raise funds for the historic property, defamatory public comments were made by Seidel Zove about myself and my wife Ann. As I was not at that meeting, I request that this letter be read into the record in the minutes. Zove states that 14 Marple Lane, quote, is a house that he, Roy Wilson, never took good care of, that the Wilsons never invested in simply because they didn't have the money to do so, end quote. At no time did I ever say that we never invested money in this house. My role when we came to the property in the early 1980s was to try to stabilize the poor financial condition of the family property, attempt to stem the deterioration of the 5 original buildings, and later to take over the job of providing free tours to anyone interested in learning more about the rich history and significance of Abolition Hall. Of the 5 stone buildings on the course and track, 14 Marple Lane was the only building with no known historical significance, and at the time we came to the property was in the worst condition. On behalf of the Corson family, I facilitated a great number of costly upgrades to 14 Marple Lane, including the installation of a new sewer line to replace a septic pit, replacement of antiquated electrical service, twice replacing the heating system, repairs and replacements to roofing, insulation, windows, appliances, multiple repainting, and many other contractor expenses to maintain the house in a livable condition. As a rental unit, it has been continuously occupied. I personally spent countless hours inside this home, on the roof and in the basement, in the many years we spent living on the property. Once I was nearly killed after a blizzard when the wooden ladder I was using to get on the roof to shovel off a massive snow accumulation snapped and almost threw me to the ground. Contrary to Zove's characterization, the owner spent a lot of money on 14 Marple Lane. But as I pointed out at the steering committee meeting, all the other houses on Marple Lane are owner-occupied and kept in very good condition. This rental house needs to be sold to a private owner who can afford to upgrade it to the condition of the other homes on the land, on the lane. Thank you.
Thank you. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. I'm going to move back up on the agenda. We need a PGA Tour update from Emergency Management. Chief Ward?
Put together some information. The Professional Golfers Association, the PGA, will present a 2025 Truist Championship at the Philadelphia Cricket Club on West Valley Green Road in the Flowertown section of White Marsh Township from May 5th to May 11th, 2025. The top 70 PGA golfers will be invited to play in the event, which includes practice rounds on Monday and Tuesday without spectators, a pro-am and social media influencer events with spectators on Wednesday, and a 72-hole championship to be played on the next 4 days. 10,000 spectator tickets have been made available for this event. They estimate another 3,000 people will be on the course as volunteers and workers for the event, for a total of 13,000 people for the busiest days. Friday and Saturday are already sold out. Remote parking locations have been identified in White Marsh, Springfield, and Upper Dublin Townships. Shuttle buses will be utilized to transport volunteers and spectators from these remote lots to the Stenton Avenue entrance of the Cricket Club. There is no on-site parking for volunteers and spectators. Through White Marsh Township's emergency management, we are working with the PGA to ensure that this event is safe and shows the White Marsh community in the best light. Fire Marshal Andrew Thomas is coordinating emergency services for the township. The Montgomery County Department of Public Safety is assisting us with these efforts. Barron Hill Fire Company Chief Chris Schwartz is overseeing the fire services needed for the event. White Marsh Community Ambulance Chief Rebecca Werner and Deputy Chief Kristen Kovacs are coordinating the first aid for this event with the assistance of Temple Medical at Chestnut Hill Hospital. The White Marsh Police Department, with assistance from Plymouth Township and Springfield Township Police Departments, will be providing the law enforcement support for the PGA for this event. Up to 40 police officers per day will be deployed, both on the course and on the roadways immediately surrounding the golf course, to provide security and traffic control measures for the event. The PGA has contracted with CSC Security to provide security on the grounds of the Philadelphia Cricket Club 24 hours a day during the event. The FBI and the ATF will also be tailing their agents to the event to supplement police services. Numerous police K-9 teams from throughout the region will be deployed to the event to assist with sweeps of the facilities and an investigation of any suspicious packages or activities. The only road closure that will occur for this event will be West Valley Green Road between Cricket Road and Hunt Lane. The closure will be from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. for the week of the tournament. Please note that residents around the road closure have been contacted by both the PGA and the police department to make sure that they are aware of the road closure and to assist them with any services that would be affected by the road closures. Trash pickup, school bus services, and similar necessities will be permitted to operate through the road closure. Businesses in the area have also been contacted, or they have contacted the township, and we are working with them to minimize the impact of this event on their business. Rideshare procedures to include designated drop-off and pickup area have been established in the Fort Washington State Park, which is adjacent to the Cricket Club. Finally, the PGA will be purchasing no parking signs that will be deployed in the area of the Cricket Club to prevent illegal parking in the area and to ensure that neighborhoods closest to the Cricket Club are not inundated with parking associated with the event by people that do not want to utilize the shuttle service provided. These parking restrictions are not meant to prevent residents from parking on the streets by their homes.
Thank you. Any board questions or comments? Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Appreciate all you do. Moving down to board public discussion items. Review of SLD 01-25 land development waiver request for Valley Green Country Club, 201 Ridge Pike, Lafayette Hill, for the following: remove existing 2,360 square foot barn and replace with new pole 2,592 square foot pole barn, and construct 2 padel courts. Charlie.
Thank you. Just a very short introduction. This is a land development waiver for 2 projects, as you mentioned, on 2 different sides of the site. The pole barn is in the maintenance area for Green Valley, which is off of Germantown Pike, and the paddle courts are behind the outdoor tennis courts on the western end of the property nearest Ridge Pike. So the land development waiver encompasses both of these projects. Both of these will require grading permits. Once the land development waiver is approved, actually the pole barn grading permit is ready to be issued, and the one for the paddle courts is underway under review. The Planning Commission reviewed this at their March 11th meeting and recommended approval of the land development, as did Krista in her engineer's review. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Daryl Campagna from Eustis Engineering. He has a short PowerPoint to present.
Hi, everyone. So, as Charles said, we have a combined land development waiver for both a pole barn and a padel court, or 2 courts actually, and I'm here representing Green Valley Country Club today. All right, there we go. This is the application. We don't need to go through this, but I want to show you the locations of these two projects that we're working on currently. One is in the northeast corner. That is the pole barn. One is in the southwest corner, which are the padel courts. And as Charlie mentioned, they are adjacent to the north of the existing tennis courts. This is an existing aerial. The tennis courts are to page south, and the proposed padel courts are going to be just to the north of them, as shown in a diagram coming up shortly. Existing grading. And these are the courts and the location in which we're proposing these courts to be located. They are adjacent to the existing tennis courts. It seems to be a nice recreational area. There's existing screening all around, so it seems to fit well into the landscape, providing stormwater management to the east and grading to flatten the area out in this location. This is a highlight of the stormwater management facility, sized to the appropriate size for stormwater capture and collection. We were asked to do a tree survey within 300 feet of the project area. We completed that, and we identified all trees 6-inch caliper and above. We are not affecting any trees in the area with this project. This is just a close-up. We're going to be providing tree protection for all those existing trees to ensure their health and safety. And then just a more refined plan of the courts and the stormwater and the grading in relationship to those existing trees and the tree protection that we have in place. The construction sequence, we have everything in place for that as the code requires. And this is the tree planting plan. We don't necessarily have to have any trees from the code standpoint, but we would like to provide them from a buffering standpoint from the surrounding facilities. It's a private golf course, and we want to make sure that it fits into the place and golfers are not disturbed, and padel people are not disturbed from the golfers. Onto the pole barn. As we mentioned, this is replacing an existing pole barn that's currently there, right in situ. It's keeping the same square footage as the existing pole barn, or actually slightly less, I believe. Also asked to survey 6-inch trees at DBH in the surrounding area. We are not affecting any trees in the area, and we're putting up the appropriate tree protection fence for this project as well. This is an outline. This is the existing pole barn, and you can see the outline of the proposed one. So in fact, it's almost exactly the same footprint. Just a little bit more detail. It's just going to be used for maintenance. And this just shows a zoom out just a little bit of the space in which it's going to be utilized. Again, this area is used for maintenance already. So just using the same land use and maintenance operations that occur on a daily basis there. And I believe that's mainly it. This is just showing where the tree protection fence is going to be going. It's in a logical location, protecting the trees, and we're not going to be affecting any of those trees, so should be good. Same thing, construction sequencing. We just want to make sure that our tire wash and all anything we have to do gets cleaned at the end of the day, so we're showing that as well. And that concludes our presentation for today.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Could you briefly tell us what Padel is?
Oh, God, yeah. So it is pronounced Padel. It's like a fancy way of saying paddle. It's similar to, I would say, racquetball outdoors, and it's a glass enclosure. That's about as much as I can say. I don't know. It's similar to racquetball outside. It's like pickleball. It's picking up on the pickleball theme, but it's more, you can hit the walls and, a little bit different.
The courts are surrounded by glass walls,
Yes,
correct?
correct.
But
There is
there's
a glass.
there's no roof.
No roof.
It's all open.
Yeah.
Are they lit?
Yes, they do have lighting associated with them.
Is it intended that they'll be used in the evenings?
I believe so. That's why the lighting would be there, yes.
And am I right that the nearest residences are on the other side of Ridge Pike?
That's correct.
Any concerns about noise?
I do not, because I think the glass enclosure, as well as the landscaping that we're providing, and as well as the existing large trees surrounding the area, should accommodate that noise pollution. And there's golfing there all day long, too, so I don't think it's going to actually increase. And the tennis courts are there, and those are more open, so I don't think any increase in noise would be there.
Are the rackets that are used for padel ball more like tennis rackets with open mesh?
I am not a Padel professional.
Or are they solid?
They're hard.
Or they're hard? So the potential is to create more noise.
I would say pickleball typically has that potential. I think in the case of Padel, it's less of a noise concern, especially with the surrounding glass. It's a soft ball, whereas pickleball is, harder noise for sure.
Okay.
Any other board comment or questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to move down to resolutions. Do I have a motion to approve Resolution 2025-10 for SLD 01-25 Green Valley Country Club for a waiver of land development to replace an existing barn with pole barn and to install 2 new padel courts at 201 Ridge Pike, Lafayette Hill?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Barron, can you please call the roll?
Supervisor Turine,
Yes.
Supervisor Manuel,
Yes.
Supervisor McCusker,
Yes.
Supervisor Moy,
Yes.
Chair Tull.
Yes. Oh. Resolution carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck. All right, I'm going to go back up to ordinances. Do I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 1048, amending section 3-31C of White Marsh Township Code to clarify duties of the assistant manager position?
So moved.
Second.
Do we have any further information to add to this?
No, I think last meeting was discussed, in the previous ordinance, it had the title of assistant manager more confined to doing zoning and planning.
Correct.
And Craig's feelings of changing this is opening up the position to anybody who's qualified to be assistant manager.
All right, thank you. Mr. Barron, please call the roll.
Supervisor Turine,
Yes.
Supervisor Manuel,
Yes.
Supervisor McCusker,
Yes.
Supervisor Moy, sorry.
Yes.
Chair Toll.
Yes. Ordinance carries. Do I have a motion to consider amending contractor work hours for trash service on Friday, May 9th?
Supervisor Toll.
Yes.
I suggest under resolutions, I had a change on how we would appoint the 2 zoning hearing board members.
Yes, I was actually going to
Oh, sorry.
come back to that unless I
Got
have
it.
to, because I wanted to make sure I got their resignations first.
Oh, got it.
Sorry.
100% sorry.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm with
okay.
you. I got you.
And that'll be a roll call too, just to let you know.
Yes, yes, I'm going to have, I'll
Okay.
flip back to that in a minute. I
Got
know
it.
it's a little off the beaten path, but do I have a motion to consider amending contractor work hours for trash service on Friday, May 9th?
So moved.
Second.
Did we want to add anything to this?
No, briefly, this is to change the contracted work hours for the trash services for Friday, May 9th for the golf event. This is to get in the trash trucks if, in the area early in the morning at 6 o'clock instead of 7 o'clock because there'll be more traffic in there. So to get in, they said they would get in and get out before anything happened there. So that's what this is for, and only for this.
Thank you. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carries. Do I have a motion to accept the resignation of Patrick Duran from Planning Commission and James Tome? Do I have to do them separately from EAB?
You can do them together.
Okay. And James Tome from the EAB.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Do I have a motion to accept the resignation of Robert Basine from the Zoning Hearing Board?
So moved.
Second.
I want to say thank you to Mr. Basine for his 40 years of service to White Marsh Township. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, we're going to go back to resolutions. Do I have a motion by resolution to appoint the following to the Zoning Hearing Board? Patrick Doran, term expiring in December of 2029, and James Tome, term expiring in December of 2025. This would be by resolution
It will be drafted by the
to be
township
drafted by
solicitor.
the Township Solicitor.
So moved.
Second.
Supervisor Turine,
Yes.
Supervisor Manuel,
Yes.
Supervisor McCusker,
Yes.
Supervisor Moy,
Yes.
Chair Toll.
Yes. Resolution carries. Do I have a motion to approve the March 2025 financial report reflecting total expenditures of $934,899.20, payroll at $630,452.84, and pension plan expenditure totaling $4,328.95?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carries. Going to an amended agenda, do I have a motion to approve the certificate of appropriateness for 3139 Spring Mill Road to replace a 6-foot wooden fence with a 6-foot vinyl fence?
So moved.
Second.
Charlie?
Thank you. This was reviewed by Harb yesterday at the meeting on April 9th. This is addressed at 3139 Spring Mill Road, which is a completely misleading address because it has frontage on Black Walnut Lane and on Butler Pike. And the only reason it has that address is it actually has shares a driveway accessing off of Spring Mill Road. It was actually built as part of the Black Walnut Lane development back in the early 2000s. In fact, this house was an early 2000 house. The application is for a replacement fence on Butler Pike. Butler Pike is one of the frontages and therefore seen from the road and therefore under Harb jurisdiction. This is a site plan of the property, again highlighting the fence that the Harb was looking at along Butler Pike. There's currently a 6-foot stockade fence which has been there for many years. It's deteriorated, and the owner is asking to have a replacement vinyl fence in a cedar wood color vinyl, which they reviewed and showed samples of to Harb yesterday, and Harb was fine with it and had no issues and recommended that the board approve a certificate of appropriateness.
Thank you. Is there any board comment or questions? Any public comment?
I have a sample of, I'm the owner.
Oh, okay.
I'm just here if there's any questions. I have a sample of the color, sort of this one.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I couldn't see you back there. My apologies.
Not all of these, just this.
Just that
When we
one.
post, everything will be in this color.
Wonderful. Very nice. Thank you.
No,
I don't
just
have
good
any
luck.
questions. Yeah. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We have come to the public comment portion of our meeting. Come on up, Tom.
Thank you very much. Tom Dahl, Fairway Road, Lafayette Hill. I was at that Harb meeting yesterday, along with this gentleman back here, and of course, Charlie was there. And one of the things that came up is some of the costs that it takes for the people to upgrade their homes that are in that historical district. Has the township considered any type of tax relief in terms of, say, property tax relief, or if it's a business that's in there, because some of those are businesses, waiving some of the business taxes to help defray some of the costs that it takes to keep those buildings in the condition that the township or the historical board expects them to be kept in? Because it's quite expensive to be able to, maintain those buildings the way that they are, or potentially the township helps the people. Because the discussion they had yesterday with that one gentleman, I felt bad for him. He's trying to do the right thing, but the costs were just out of control, and he just can't accept it on his own, So I don't know if there's anything that can be done from a tax perspective. I know there's federal credits for these types of things, but I don't know if there's any opportunity on a local basis for something like that to occur at our level. And the way I look at it, there's 55 or 60 homes that are in that area that would be affected. So to provide some property tax relief for them, depending upon the amount of the investment that they're making, of course, I think would help those people defray the cost and keep the properties in the way that we expect them to be kept. It's something to consider, because I don't think that came up before. Right, Charlie?
I think
That's the
Mr.
first time it
Kilkenny.
came up to my knowledge. And we were going to check with the regional representative from Pennsylvania Museum and Historical Commission to see if there's any models out there, anybody has done this in the area. And we will report
Great.
back after we do that.
Thank
It couldn't
you.
cost the township that much lost tax revenue, I wouldn't think. And then the second question I have is, I heard the township had allowed the construction done at David Bridle to move the flood line closer to the train tracks. Is that true? No? Okay.
It's not our choice. It's before FEMA,
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, has that been approved?
not to my knowledge.
Okay. There's a rumor out there that it has been.
Lots of rumors.
Did you have something you wanted to share? Go ahead.
I've been asked this question in other municipalities, and I'm glad Mr. Guttenplan is looking into the matter. I do believe, unless there's a specific grant in doing so by the General Assembly, that we're not allowed to give tax relief. I've seen facade grant programs and things like that, but as far as relieving taxes, per the Pennsylvania Constitution, unless there's specific relief given by the legislature, all taxpayers, business, personal, shall be treated equally under our Constitution. So just wanted to be clear of that.
Thank
And
you
the
for
grants
that.
generally, unfortunately, are not available to individual property owners. They're generally available to municipalities or nonprofit organizations.
Thank you. Is there any other public comment? Roy, come on up.
Roy Wilson. I want to agree with what this gentleman just had to say. And I would say, in terms of the legal comment, that all residents are going to be treated equally. When you're in a HARB building, you're not treated equally. You have a lot of impositions on your property, which are mandated by, a government agency, and you're left with this situation where it's very expensive to renovate buildings to the extent that the HARB, board sometimes asks. So really, you're not treated equally.
Thank you, Roy. Any other public comment? Any board comment? I wanted to announce that the board had an executive session tonight on personnel and real estate matters. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Good night. Motion carries. Good night, White Marsh. Thank you.